It's Real Fit Radio with B
and J.LOU.
If this is your first time listening, welcome. And if you're a returning listener, welcome back.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. The more you sweat and practice, the less you bleed in battle. Doesn't give who said that, but I thought that was cool.
Care to elaborate a bit more on that one? I have my own interpretation, of course, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Basically, what I would say is whatever you're doing in the dark will dictate how much success you will have in life. No matter what entity it is, the more sweat equity you put in when there's no score involved, the more successful you will be in the time when the game is actually going on. It's the consistency of doing the small things over and over again until it's second nature, and then it shows up when it's supposed to, and you end up getting great results because of it.
Opportunity meaning preparation. Be prepared for the opportunity.
Yeah, anything that you're doing, you're getting ready for it. You don't wait for an opportunity to show itself and then be like, oh, okay, I got to get ready for it. Coach always say, it'll show up in the game. Whatever you're not doing now will show up in the game. Do you want to get embarrassed now, or do you want to get embarrassed when people watching?
Yeah, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You always give us some interesting tidbits to start off the podcast, get us in gear for the meat and potatoes. You ready?
I'm ready. What we got?
I have been focused the last couple of days on finding beauty in the struggle.
J. Cole, is beauty in the struggle.
Ugliness in the success. And it's interesting you said that line because he says ugliness in the success, which, you know, can be interpreted so many ways. Like, okay, do I really want to get there? That line does tie into this. Can you do it? Can you find beauty in the struggle? Is it possible? And if so, how? You know, and that's what I'm focusing on finding. Or is there a way to change your perspective where you can begin to see it? This is not a loss. There's beauty in this, even though it didn't seem like it. How do you find beauty in the struggle or the seasons of your journey, Lou?
Well, to attack the first question you asked, which is there beauty in the struggle? I absolutely believe it is beauty in the struggle. And the word that you chose to use is perfect, which is perspective. If you're in a process where it just seems like there is no quote unquote success in sight or progress in sight, chances are there is none in sight because you can't see it. You're not choosing to see it because you're looking at all the things that's not going well. And that applies to all aspects of life. In terms of how I find my beauty in my struggles is looking at where did I get better at. And one of the ways I've found a way to see how I progress is definitely keeping notations of stuff. A lot of times we just find ourselves going through the motions or going through these everyday processes without really keeping a tab or a note on our day-to-day operations and what we do. So if you don't have a task list, short-term goal, daily goal, long-term, these are intricate pieces that you should definitely implement in terms of trying to find that beauty in the struggles that you have in this journey that we call life. Because the thing is, if you don't have anything to
reference,
there we go. If you don't have anything to reference, it will definitely feel like you're not getting any better. So it's important to have goals set so that you can see those small victories, because I think that's what keeps you going. When you see that you're winning in anything, it creates momentum. Nobody likes to lose or feel like they're losing every time they go out and do something. That's one of the ways I try to find beauty is like, oh, where's the progress? And then just finding ways to enjoy it too. So it's not just about the progress, it's also finding those enjoyable moments. For example, if we're sitting in there and I may be stumped on making a beat or something or coming up with a lyric, and then you come in there and you sit in there, you may be cracking jokes about the song or cracking jokes and making up silly hooks and lines or whatnot, and it's laughter there. those moments are priceless. You can't overlook those moments because they're intricate pieces. You need those type of moments. You need that type of energy to continue to go. Like I said, if you're just sitting there looking at, oh, woe is me, or I can't seem to get a deal, or I can't seem to get my project off the ground or my business off the ground, nobody's buying anything, whatever it is that you're thinking, you have to look at those moments that are there because you're surrounded by them. You can't tell me that every day that you're, whatever it is that you're chasing or you're doing, you can't find a moment that you didn't crack a laugh. You didn't crack a smile, meet somebody new that brought a gem to you or renewed your spirit somehow. It's something there in every day that you can sort out and be like, okay, what can I find in this day where it was like, okay, that was a good moment. I'm going to cherish that moment. Or, ooh, I said I want to do 3 sales and I got 2. It's the small victories. It's the laughter. It's the camaraderie. I know I listen to a lot of interviews of artists, athletes, entrepreneurs, and they all have these moments where in the interview they're asked, what was some of the times that you can think of when you didn't have the money and what kept you going? And all of them pretty much say the same thing. It's the people that was around me that made the journey worthwhile. It was the lessons that I learned. Instead of looking at them as losses, it's always something that can be taught when you make a mistake. And you can teach somebody else, that's willing to learn from you. Actually, first but last but not least is God keep giving me another chance. You sent me something today. A gentleman was talking about take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And he said, as long as you're able to do that, you have to live life to the fullest. I look at it as not only that, but you get another shot to get it right. Enjoy it. Pursue whatever it is that you're doing. So those are the things that allow me to see beauty in what we all seem to see when we don't have this type of mindset, which is a struggle. And it keeps me going.
And now a quick moment from our sponsor, Journey of a Legend.
You. Yeah, you. What's your passion? Purpose. Every day you try, you succeed. The time is now. Journey of a Legend. It starts with you.
If you want to learn more or purchase merchandise, go to www.journeyofalegend.com. Well, I couldn't have said it any better. The short of it for me that I'm really focused on is identifying the blessing, celebrating small victories, and understanding that once I transition from that season or that phase or stage, that's it. Those things are precious too. Even, the times you may be without food, or maybe you had to borrow from, this person, or my lights almost went off. I got a red notice, or, they took my car. Finding the blessing in that, whatever it is. How did you come out of it? What was the process of you getting back in the race that didn't take you out, because now you're at this next stage? And I think that may be what J. Cole, or this is my interpretation of what he was referring to when he said there's ugliness in the success. I think those precious moments that we can overlook because we feel so overwhelmed with the pressure and the stress and everything that's happening during the struggle, we don't celebrate those small victories. We don't identify the blessing of things that are priceless, like family, support, love, peace of mind. For celebrities, just being able to go into the store and not have the paparazzi or somebody bothering you. I remember reading an article with Willow Smith where she said she just wishes that she could go to the store without having to set the whole thing up. This person has to accompany me. Just having peace, just being able to go out and have the cloak of no one knowing who you are. Being able to have time with your family, friends, loved ones, because there's an expiration date on all of us and we don't know when it is. There's the blessing, and then there's just the beauty of it. Even if you feel like you don't have anybody, start to try to identify the blessing, the piece of me having the ability to not have to depend on somebody else. It's not about, the money, because money is a tool, but money is not what makes you happy. And I think that sometimes so much light is put on money. Once you get money, you don't have to struggle no more. Once you get money, everything's going to be okay. Everybody around you is going to be happy. So if you focus on that wholeheartedly, you're just honed in on it, you can miss all the other stuff. That's what I'm focused on. And that's how I'm finding the beauty in daily struggles or things that I find myself perplexed about, because the way things are looking based on things that are out of my control.
There are two things that I neglected to mention that I feel is a beautiful thing. One, in a situation where you are in a journey or the process of getting to where you want to be, you get to see what you're really made of when it's an obstacle there or obstacles. Secondly, I believe during this time, there's more truth in the struggle time than it is in success. So I think when J. Cole, to kind of elaborate on his bar when he said his beauty and success, beauty in the struggle and ugliness in the success. In the ugly part of success, granted, you finally get what you thought you were asking for, but in that success where there was truth in the struggle, there's a lot of deceit and lies in the success. So everything that you were striving for that whole time, you finally got it. And now you get to see the other side that you couldn't see because the doors were closed. But now that the doors are open, it's yay, we made it. We finally made it. Started from the bottom. Now we here. You in there. And now you get to see all the ugly things that come with it. Like people coming around and you not knowing if they really like you for you, or is it because you can do something for them? Like you said about Willow saying she wanted some privacy, and what would she do for that opportunity to be able to just walk in the store? It's one thing to say, oh yeah, I want to be in the limelight or whatever the case may be, whatever you're asking for. It's a whole nother thing when you're over there. You have to be really cognizant of the spirits that's around you, even more than what you had to when you was grinding to get there, because I think it's more truth in the struggle. People that really rock with you will be there when you had nothing. Everybody like you when you that dude or you that girl, you know what I'm saying?
Find the beauty in the struggle. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you want to keep this conversation going, suggested topics, you can shoot us an email at realfitradio@gmail.com. Our podcast drops every Monday. You can catch a snippet of our latest podcast on our Instagram at realfitradio. If you're not following us, you definitely should be. As always, we hope this inspired, impacted, or empowered someone. Until next time.